30 minutes of pure entertainment with musicians, writers, and actors to motivators, chefs, and even rappers to up-and-comers with the it factor. It's the Jazzie K.Ward coming at ya. Have fun, some smiles, a few laughs. Tune in, chime in, sit back, relax. Have fun, some smiles, a few laughs.
I was trying to get my voice ready to sing that song. But I don't want us to lose listeners though, so I'm not going to sing it.
Oh well, our ratings might go up.
Not in a good way. Like, who is that? Get her off. Look, get her off the stage.
Oh, well, don't you just look very? You look very light, very airy. Look at your background. What you doing?
I'm trying to mimic like a sunset, like the serene of the sunset, and just calming when you just take it down because we're getting ready for Jazzie After Dark.
Oh, it's after dark. Right. We love that.
I can't.
Have a good weekend.
So Saturday, my church does something called Love Week every year, the last week of July into August. And even though my church is online, Elevation, they do stuff locally where I live in Jersey, New York. So I was able to assist with packing 10,000 bags of food to feed the hungry.
Oh, that's such a blessing.
Listen, we got to give back. This is a world that is crazy and more crazy and crazier than crazy. So at some point we got to do our part now to give back just a little bit.
Yeah, I think that is so important. I always say each year, around the holiday time, especially like Thanksgiving and Christmas, we have so much to be thankful for. And I was like, I can take a couple hours out of my day to work at a shelter, a food shelter for the homeless, just a couple hours to give out food, some friends or myself. But I think we should give back.
And I think we gotta do it because it's just part of being part of that. We all part of the one race, human race. Doesn't matter what color, gender, none of that stuff. We're all human beings. And until you out there and you've been hungry, you will not understand.
You will not understand. And like you said, you mentioned something very important, that so much is going on in the world. And that's why it's so important to listen to music. Music is so hidden. I listen to music all day, all types of music. Even I
get through my day without music.
I know. That's, But before we get into all that, hey, everybody, I'm Jazzie K.Ward, my co-host. You want to introduce yourself?
I'm the wonderful Miss Dr.G.
Dr.G is in the house. And before we get started, go over to K.Ward Radio, my YouTube channel. Okay, I don't know how many posts or videos I have to do. Subscribe, y'all. Like, share. It's free, right, Dr. G?
Cost you. Ding. And the age-old question, Jazzie, Dr. G, how come y'all not rich?
What you say?
Because you didn't share my shit.
Right. It's free, y'all. Just share it. Just share it. KWardRadio.com is the website. Of course, hey, Mr. Rogers.
Welcome.
He's here every Monday. But yeah, y'all subscribe. It's free. Like even our guests tonight, make sure you follow them too. Their link is going to be on the website. And so, Dr. G, I don't know if you know. Well, you know what? before I get into all that, why don't you go ahead, Dr. G, and kick off the show?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for Artist Talk.
Live from WKRW, welcome to Artist Talk, a live one-on-one conversation with your host, the man with the golden voice, Jazzie K.Ward.
Hey, everybody. Dr. G, everything was happening so fast, I almost forgot the intro, the part of the show.
You can't forget that. That's like that gets you into the mood. That's like your segue into Artist Talk. How do you forget that?
I know, but everybody.
I know why you forgot it. I know why you forgot it. Because we have some amazing guests and you couldn't wait to get them on.
So excited. And our friend Sabrina Taylor is here. And I have to also thank her for the introduction and the opportunity to be able to have the guest on the show tonight, our Griff smoothjazzalley. So we thank you so much, Sabrina Taylor. And Sabrina, come on the show, hang out with us, and let us know what's going on in your world of music and all that jazz, okay? But again, I'm Jazzie K.Ward. Welcome to another edition of Artist Talk. My lovely co-host is Dr. Shontell Graham, but we call her over here Dr. G. So Dr. G, I'm going to tell you about our guests before we bring them on. We're thrilled to welcome a powerhouse trio redefining the smooth jazz sound, Smooth Jazz Alley. Formed in San Francisco Bay Area, the group features keyboardist and founding member Marco Matteo, drummer and producer Kevin Lewis, and the incredible saxophonist Otoe Moro. The music is a seamless blend of jazz, R&B, funk, soul, lush, layered, and it's full of heart when you listen to their music. Their EPs like Here's the Thing has been turning heads across the jazz world, featuring collaborations like with legends like Nathan East, Jessie J, Mark Antone, and with tracks like Deep Into You. Also their latest release, Come On, which is wonderful, y'all. We're going to talk about their journey, their process, what inspires their sound, also what's coming up next with them. So sit back, relax, let's vibe the soulful silk rhythms, and let's welcome Smooth Jazz Alley to Artist Talk. Okay, we had to give them 2 rounds of applause.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Doing Kevin and Marco?
Doing great. Thanks for having us here.
Good.
Awesome.
We're so excited to have you, and we're our hearts sunk when you told us, Marco, that Otoe, she wouldn't be able to make it tonight.
Yeah, she got a little confused with the time, but we told her, don't worry, we'll handle it, and bring you back around on the next one. So
yeah, that's real. Yes. So just let you know, we miss you. Come back and see us. You're welcome to the show anytime. But you guys, thank you so much for taking the time, I'm sure out of you all's busy schedule, to come and hang out with myself and Dr. G and talk about your amazing career, the music, and all that jazz. And so I want to just start off asking you guys, how did your Monday go today?
It was crazy. Oh, it was deliciously crazy. Deliciously crazy. Yes, I just made that up, Dr. G. I just made that
I'll
up.
take it. I'm gonna use that one. Yeah, I'm
my
greedy. I
little
think
brother,
you say that.
my little brother's texting me, and I couldn't answer to save my life because it was crazy, and he thought I wasn't paying him any attention. But we use this thing where we call see y'all. So I even forgot to text him that. So
I didn't get none of
that. so we just, it's been crazy. But for the love of music brings us to this point, and this point is where we love to be. So I can't thank you guys enough, and I can't thank the audience that's listening enough. Without the audience, without you guys, our music goes nowhere. So really appreciate you. And it's the people that make the world go round. It's the people who listen to our music and other music alike in the contemporary jazz genre and the R&B and soul that make the world go round.
Thank you for that, Kevin. What about you, Marco?
Yeah, I had a pretty interesting day. Just a typical Monday with a law firm, getting sidetracked here and there, and not getting anything I needed. And then remember, I had the interview, and I was like, oh, I better post something, and just everything starts coming back. Like once I get one thing done, I remember 3 things I was supposed to do, and then I get the next thing done and remember 3 more. So here we are. But really appreciate you guys having us here, and just for the support you've given us and playing our singles. So I just want to thank you for that too.
Yeah, it's not on WVAS 90.7, which is Alabama State University's jazz station, which which I've been there for 30 years or more. There's not and I know they play your music so much during the week, but every Saturday, there's not a Saturday that I'm there that I don't play Smooth Jazz Alley.
Super appreciate that.
Thank you.
If I'm not, I tell either one of the interns in your playlist, and it's like, yes, Mr. Jazz, it's like, you have to put on Smooth Jazz Alley. You got whatever, just find a song and play their song. And some of their students, they're like, oh, I've never played them before. So see, when you sit there at the board, that's how you learn about music.
Yeah.
They're like, well, yes, sir.
You got to build that. I think sometimes people just get stuck on one song, because sometimes I can play a song on repeat. Like,
we do it all the time.
Yeah,
we do it all the time. No, we get it.
And that's my part. That's my breakdown. So sometimes you got to just introduce to something new. And that's it.
Well, can I add to that? Yeah. That is the reason why Marco and I spend so much time in crafting our game, because we want to be that piece of track, that track that you put on repeat all the time. Or maybe we're joined by some other artist on that repeat, but we want to be amongst that repeat. Let's just say button.
Yeah. So, well, it starts, if you can't repeat it yourself, then how you gonna expect somebody else to repeat it?
Exactly.
Like, it's got to measure up to everything else I'm listening to.
We have to like what we're putting out. So
that's true.
We have to love it.
So I'm going to switch things up here a little bit. Hello, Lisa Marie Williams, my friend. So good to see you. So Kevin, I'm going to ask you this question. So like right now, who are you currently listening to music-wise?
Actually, 2 people. I'm listening to Marco, and I'm listening to Brian Coberton.
I thought he was going to say Marco and Kevin. I was saying, no, he didn't. Go with the shameless plug. Why not?
Well, I'm one of his. I consider myself one of his biggest fans.
Oh,
and I push him in that direction. He doesn't like it sometimes, but because he's modest, that's the reason why he doesn't like it, because he's very modest. But I push him in that direction, and that's just the way it is.
Okay, I love that.
Sometimes you got to develop a little shoulder pain. You know what shoulder pain is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know how you get shoulder pain, though, right?
My shoulder hurts. Okay.
You know how you get shoulder pain, though, right?
How you get shoulder pain, Dr. G?
You gotta tap yourself on the back just a little bit.
There you go. Yeah.
I get my taps from my brother over there.
Okay. So his shoulder hurts a little bit more, but that's
a lot of pain up in here.
Yeah. And so I'm going to ask you the same question. Like, so who are you currently listening to? I come hang up and say, well, Marco, let's go for a ride. Like, who would you play in the car?
Well, I pay attention to everything that comes out that's new. So Kim just dropped a new single last Friday, so I've been listening to that. Jazz, funk, soul, Lamech, just a lot of the smooth jazz stuff that comes out. Again, I see what's new, and I kind of go listen to everything that I see released on the charts or going for ads. And if something grabs my attention, I pop it in my playlist, and it's funny. I'll do that all year. And at the end of the year, I reorganize my favorites and move them all towards the top, which means I get to the bottom ones, because it's a pretty big list after a year. But I do that every year across genres. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Mm-hmm. And so, Marco, I'm going to start back with you again. You're founding member, creative architect. Are you a former worship leader and music director?
No, I'm not, but I am on the worship team at my church. I've been on the worship team for quite some time now. Um, haven't done anything as far as like putting tracks together, but I just actually played yesterday. So love playing on the worship team. I did grow up listening or playing with my dad in
Okay.
the in the Catholic church also, and playing in the choir with him. I started doing that when I was 12 till he
Wow.
brought a bass on. I did keys until he brought a bass from Korea. He was in the military. Brought a bass over from Korea, and I started playing bass in the church when I was like 15. Did that for a couple of years, so that was interesting because I kind of figured out how the bass works with the keys.
Okay, I like that. And so for you too, Kevin, so was music something you growing up, childhood, is something that you always wanted to do?
Yes, there was two things I wanted to be. One of them is not your average. I wanted to be a race car driver,
Oh, I've heard that.
Okay. All right.
a big time race car driver, because I was born coming from the racetrack. My dad raced, but the other part of that was music. My mom listened to music, was a big jazz uh, guru, if you will. She could tell you who was playing without looking, and this and that and the other, that kind of thing. And so I grew up listening to music, and I grew up playing drums. And like Marco, I grew up in the church playing drums in the church. It wasn't until recently I kind of switched. I'm not playing drums in the church like I used to anymore, but that was like every Sunday. But I never forgot where I came from. That's the main thing.
Very
And
Do you think the church for you both, and this is for you, Kevin and Marco, do you think the church was like your foundation that helped you kind of maybe move throughout your career? No, you wanted to do music and your faith. I'm just saying, even in your business world and even your professional world, do you think that the church really helped maybe with a solid foundation for you both?
I think so. In fact, one of the first songs when I met Kevin and we got to know each other, and when I started showing him some of the tracks I had, one of them was actually a gospel track. And I'm like, man, I'm thinking about flipping this into something smooth jazz, and we got our producer involved, but I mean, I wouldn't have done that had it not been for just my walk in general. It started when I was a kid, but it progressed. After I was a knucklehead for a little while, and had to go back to where I needed to be, and but I mean, once you have that connection, man, there's no denying it. You can't live without it. We can't do anything on our own. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Lord. So yeah, I would say that a lot of I listen to a lot of different. Now I listen to a lot of contemporary Christian. I listen to some gospel, like heavy gospel. I mean, I listen to it all. And so I think that Kevin and I, it's funny. He was just telling me the other day, hey, I want to do this song, man, but I want you to put some gospel chords in there. I'm like, okay, so I know what he's talking about, but I wouldn't have known if I hadn't listened to that type of music and just with my walk in general. And so yeah, it's been very influential.
I think that happens for a lot of us. Our parents force us to go to church when we're younger. We go kicking and screaming, and then you become grown, so you think, and you're like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But it always leads you right back there because now you yearn for it and you want to go as opposed to being forced to go. It's an amazing thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I can relate to that big time.
So when I thought about the group Smooth Jazz Alley, for one, how did the group come about? What was the whole process, Marco? Did you reach out to Kevin, Otoe, and how did you all come up with the name?
I hate that question. Long story short, I started it with a partner back then, Stan Evans, guitarist, and it wasn't really meant to be anything that was intended to go anywhere. So we made the first album, and then I got some radio play, and then he was retiring, so he kind of wanted to focus on his retirement and kind of just chill out. And so I actually met Kevin after that through smooth jazz guitarist Joe Del Rosario. Met Kevin at a rehearsal, and then I started talking to him about some of the material, and Joel helped out with a couple of songs on the second album. But Kevin and I clicked like right away. So we had same ideas, same we kind of talk smack the same, and we have the same ideas about music. We both like the smooth jazz vibe when it's got like an urban edge to it, whatever that is for each one of us. We like heavy bass, heavy drums, and so we just we kind of clicked, and then he listened to some of the new material, and he's like, hey, I got some ideas. And next thing you know, I'm like, hey, do you want to actually be part of this? Like formally. And I had to use the word formally because I don't know how to do this stuff, right? And he said, yeah. So Kevin had already known Otoe because did she play with your band, bro, or you just played with another band? Or
I'm trying to get Otoe for a long, long time. She would show up for different events, but I never could get that girl's attention. Never.
Well,
Finally one day, I almost said, "Look, woman, you're coming with me." So here we are.
And so Otoe, she came, was it 2020 that she joined the group?
Officially, was it around then, Kev? I don't know.
Yeah, 2021 at the end of 20 into
originally she was going to do her own album, and we were like, hey, we want to support you, we'll help with producing, doing whatever, but then after we kind of met a few times, and I talked to Kevin. I'm like, hey, why don't just ask her? She wants to be part of what we're doing, and we could use the sax. I need some help, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, she came in and she loved the idea, and it's been great ever since.
What that kept me from having to go out and get. I mean, what better to have a resident sax, someone I know, someone I trust, someone who can really, really play, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But it kept me and Marco from going out and having to get sax, and we didn't have a problem with that. I mean, that was part of our fun.
Yeah,
but in order to sustain longevity in this game, if you will, was one of the reasons. Not to mention, we love her to death.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, we're all very close.
Divine timing.
She's our sister. We watch out for her. We bounce ideas. We have constructive criticism for each other, and I guess I'm the guy that does it the worst, right, Kev? Is that the case, or?
I don't know. Our little sister's becoming a beast, bro, and I think she's just hanging around us a little too much sometimes.
Yeah. Well, she's picking up on some of our stuff, and we're like, wait a second, man. She wasn't like that before.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
It's all about perfect timing, It took you guys to go around that, and you got what you got, which is wonderful.
She's also our keeper as well.
Okay, that's a good thing. I think that's also good that also collectively that you all seem to get along. You sometimes you see groups and people's like, I don't know if I think you have to have the right vibe, the right team, that right it factor, which we know that Smooth Jallies has, right, Dr. G?
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely have that it factor. And again, I'm Jazzie K.Ward, and my co-host is Dr. G. Welcome to Artist Talk. If you just tune in into the show, our special guest tonight is smoothjazzalley, and tonight hanging out with us is Marco and Kevin from their group. And I see Cindy in the comments. Hi, Cindy. Good to see you. Good to have you on the show. If you have a question or comment for our guest, please make sure you put it in the chat, and I promise you we'll do our best to get to you. Also, their website will be streaming also in the comment section. Make sure you go buy some music, download some music, share some music. Sharing is caring. That's what we always.
But think about it. How much you're going to spend on music? You not go back to the same thing every week. You waste that on a cup of coffee, as opposed to music. You can listen to it over and over. You hit that repeat button. And enjoy it. And if you don't want to buy it for yourself, buy it for someone else. Gift it. Buy two. Buy something for yourself. Buy something for someone else.
That's true. And so, Kevin, I have a question for you. So when I think about the group, your sound blends of jazz, R&B, and funk, like what inspires that fusion of you all to incorporate that into your music?
That is a great question. There's so many inspirations, but if I had to pick one thing, it would just here I am. I'm over 50 years old, and I still rely on my mama. She is my inspiration in jazz and funk and whatnot. And I mean, there's artists I listen to that I grew up listening to. Can't get around the Gap Band. Can't get around the Funkadelic. You can't get around them cats. And Morris Day. We got a track right now that has some of that in there that we haven't released. We got so much in our vault that it's crazy. But the inspiration for jazz and funk, it's just something I grew up with.
Okay.
It's just something that my mom and dad were playing dominoes and down in the living room, and had that fifth of whatever it was sitting there,
I told y'all that's the brown liquor. That's the brown liquor songs.
I'm telling you, man, it was the Grover Washingtons and the Mr. Magics and all the rest of that kind of stuff that it just kind of
I just want to interject
fascinating.
one thing, Kevin. You said you're well into your 50s, like that's old. That's not old.
Yeah, not today. I
Okay. Just okay. As long as we're
It's
not
not old,
that's
man. Come on.
not,
Well, let me tell you though, playing drums is let me tell you. Yeah.
Listen, I get tired of playing air drums, so I can imagine how tired you get playing real drums.
Let me tell you what, there's some fabulous drummers out there. There's probably some fabulous drummers missing, and I love them all. Those are my drum colleagues, and I don't even have to know them. But I tell you what, the old guy has to keep up. And that's just what it is. It's a Smooth Jazz Alley, and I got some good looks in there. Sometimes I'm playing, I say, take that, young man. But I got it.
For the record, 50s are not old.
You're right.
That's
You're
not. And the good thing, since you brought up, before I go to Marco, Dr. G, Gavin, you were talking about the drums and drummers. So a question that just came to my mind, I wanted to ask you, because when you talk about NASCAR driving and racing cars, I had a question. What parallels, if any, do you see between racing and drumming?
Color, and excitement.
Okay.
We have a family outing every year that we go drag racing, NHRA. Every year. It has to be that. And on the way to going to this, we listen to some really good contemporary jazz. Okay. When I was born coming from the racetrack, quite sure my mother was listening to some jazz at some point, somehow, some way. And that's just the way it's been. And I draw a parallel to, so let me pivot just really quick. We produced a track that's on its way. It's called Half Moon Bay. I spent a lot of time on the coast, and Marco spends a lot of time on the coast, and just driving in general. So I'm in this automobile, and we get these inspirations. And so that's part of the parallel that we have, the scenic route, painting that landscape. So when we're in the studio, we're like two kids in a candy store.
I bet so.
It's like, ooh, play that again. Hey, I have an idea. Hey, put this together. Hey, bro, can you make this beat? There was one time when one of the tracks that we'd already produced and put out there with Jazzie J and Mark Antoine on guitar and whatnot. And those two would never really cross paths, but we're known for putting those type of artists together to join us on our project. And we had already had this beat down. And I'm quite sure my little brother over there probably got this beat from driving somewhere. He was either playing somewhere, or he was driving somewhere, or he was doing something. And when we got down to recording drums, he said, don't play that. That's something that I had practiced already for months. He said, don't play that, play this. And I did it right on the spot. That particular drum feel, if you will, is what you hear on that track, Risa Del Mar. And so we just kind of, every time we have these road trips and we're going down to LA to do our thing, or we're going somewhere, wherever it is, it brings about some sort of inspiration. And that's the parallel between automobiles in general, not necessarily just racing, but racing I associated with color, excitement, and that's what we try to bring to our music.
Nice, beautiful.
Yeah. And I was going to go to you, Marco, to even ask you about, because, with you on the keyboards, the chords, and that's what you do, what draws you to that sound?
Just a lot of what I grew up listening to, in the late 80s and 90s, a lot of R&B, a lot of soul. There was a lot of good music out when I was young. And so I would actually, turn the radio on, just try to play some of that stuff. And for me, my thing was, they're more complex chords than just regular bass chords, and basic. So my thing would be trying to figure out how are these guys getting this sound? I want to be able to play that, and so that's kind of, I mean, I don't know, Tony,
Oh, yeah.
Guy, all that stuff. I was a big Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis fan, so any Ralph Tresvant, Johnny Gill, all that. I mean, one of my first concerts that I went to that blew me away was New Edition. Bobby Brown did his solo thing, and I'll Be Sure. And I just remember like just seeing the synths and all this stuff, and they were playing live, and I was like, "Ooh, man, that to me just blew me away," and that kind of set the bar. Like, first of all, I want those keyboards so I can make that sound once I figure out the chords. So that was inspiration for me, to continue listening to that music and just kind of, I love that music from that era.
Yeah, y'all sound is awesome. And I will probably continue to say that. And so what I think we should do now, Dr. G, I want to show a performance from this group, Smoothjazzalley, that I think everyone, for those who are watching live, for those who go back and watch the replay, you're going to love it. You're going to love this group. And you're going to add them, to wherever your database, whatever you listen to your music on, Spotify and all that jazz. Hey, my friend Heidi Tan is hanging out with us. So ladies and gentlemen, right now, let's check out a performance from the group Smoothjazzalley right here on Artist.
Listen, amazing. That's the music that you play on a Saturday morning when you're cleaning your house. Everything gonna get clean. Curtains coming down, floors, you cleaning out cabinets, you be organizing everything, and you forget about the time because you lose track of time when you got good music like that.
That's right.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Blue Note. And that's one of those places, you know, when you're at a nice club, you just want the band to play all night. It's like, please don't go. We don't want to go home. Keep playing. Just keep playing. And we love that. And I didn't realize my friend Daryl Anders was back there on the bass. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I talked to him in a minute. And,
We keep that big guy close.
Oh yeah.
That's when you go old school. You don't get a cup or glass. You get an old school mason jar. Brown liquor store.
There you go.
I like it.
And you just say,
not kidding, man.
now,
I love you, Dr. G. That's me.
Brown liquor. This is just sweet tea. I am not drinking on Monday.
See? There you go. I was just gonna say that's what I grew up doing.
He brings every time he comes over, he brings sweet tea. That's all
that is sweet tea. But I'm not a drinker, so for me, that's that mason jar. Don't even get a real cup. You got to get a mason jar, and your arm must go on the back of the chair, and then you got to get glass, and then just shake it a little bit, and then you sip a little bit, and then you shake a little bit, and then you just do the head nod. That's
you just do the nod. That's it.
That's what that is.
That's what jazz music does. That's what music does. Period. Right. And so
I'm in radiology, so I'm visual. I got to see everything, and that's what I saw that Saturday morning. And then your mother telling you, "Don't forget that corner over there."
Yeah, you can't forget that corner. But it's like there's nothing like live music. I was going to ask you both before we go into Dr. G's segment, Mind, Body, and Soul. Kevin and Marco, like for you both, and I'll start with you, Marco. It's like, how does that feel performing live for people?
Oh, I love it. Been doing it for years, and I think the key is when you're doing your own music. We as far as like I've been playing live since I was 19, but there's something about like when it's your own music and you see people enjoying music that you created. There's no feeling like that. Like that's something I can't even describe. It's amazing.
Yeah.
What about you? For you, Kevin?
I feel the same way. That's our office.
Yeah.
That's more. I almost want to say that's more of our office than when we are in the recording studio, sitting side by side, acting like two clowns in the chair. That's our office. When we're on stage, anything else that we've had to deal with a month, last year, yesterday, that day, whatever, it all goes out the window. It all goes out the window.
Yeah. And I have so much more to ask you, but we have a segment called Mind, Body, and Soul with Dr. Shontell Graham, and then we will come back and continue more up close and personal conversation with our special guest tonight, Smooth Jazz Alley, right here on Artist Talk.
Thank you.
It's time for Health and Wellness Check-In with Dr. Shontell Graham. Tips for the mind, body, and soul.
I had to get some real bright light in here. I had to brighten this up. Jazzie, come on back. I'm not going to forget about you, my brother. I got another one for you this week. Let's see if you get this. I had to brighten up the room so you can
take a break. When you do your segment, I kind of disappear.
No, don't disappear. Don't be trying to disappear. You got me here. We're going to be here together, but we're here for the long run. We're a team. We're a team. There's no I in team, even though there is a me, but there's no I.
Right.
So, I'm always waiting to the last minute. And I was thinking as I was sitting here, and now you get that something in your tooth. You're like, think about teeth. So adding this one thing to your regimen, to your diet, to your lifestyle is going to help with teeth whitening. It helps cure hangovers, helps control gas, reduces your cholesterol, helps with bloating, helps digestive issues. It helps water filtration, digestion, kidney disease, acne, bug bites, diarrhea. Now, the one thing people don't realize that this one thing does too, it helps with poisoning. So if you're having like a drug overdose, this one thing you can do or incorporate that will help reverse that.
I need some multiple.
First of all, it's not okay. I'm gonna go with Mr. Rogers. Is it Hennessy, tequila, apples or charcoal?
Apples.
Charcoal. Activated charcoal does all those things.
Wow.
Yes, you can ingest charcoal, you can eat charcoal, you can drink. They have it in powder form, like a protein powder. You can buy it in pill form. You can put it in toothpaste to help brighten your teeth. And it's also given for poisoning when you have a drug overdose.
Well, so I'm thinking you're not talking about like charcoal you about to barbecue with, right?
Okay, that is charcoal. But you have what they call activated charcoal. But that is one of the things. But that charcoal is just conditioned for burning. But it is charcoal. It is charcoal. It's very porous. It has big pores. And it links itself to bad things like toxins. So yes, charcoal. The one you use it outside, the Kings, whatever, the one you use in your grill to do that. Don't go out, people, and go get the charcoal from the bag, from the store, and try to use that. Please don't do that. I'm talking about activated charcoal. Look up activated charcoal. Do not use charcoal from the grill. But it's the same exact thing. It's just treated different. But charcoal does all that for your body. Wow. Now, don't take too much, because one thing it can do, it can give you constipation. Even though it cures diarrhea, it can go the other way and make you a little constipated. Or also to check with your doctor and not Dr. Google, because the one thing too, when you have charcoal, it's hard for your body to absorb your medication. So if you're on medications, do not take charcoal unless it's advised by your physician.
Wow.
So,
I love it.
But think about it. Back in the day, our parents, grandparents didn't have money for a lot of stuff. So we just went and just got things that we had to use that's right there in your own house.
That's true.
And charcoal is one of them. Activated charcoal does all those great things. Yes, you can ingest charcoal, people. I'm not making it up. I almost said Google it, but don't Google it. If you're going to Google something, go to Google Scholar and then Google it. Evidence-based medicine. There you go.
I love that, Dr. G. And Dr. G, let people know what's the best way to find you, my friend. And don't forget, Smooth Jazz Alley. We need you to add them in the OR whenever y'all do what y'all do back there.
Well, I'm going to, not only we're going to add it to the OR, we're going to add it to the imaging. So think about it. When you're in the doctor's office and you're waiting, the worst thing to do is to sit there and watch those films over and over again about what's wrong with you.
Yes.
You start making up stuff. No, get some good music, get mellowed out, and listen, we got to add these brothers and sisters in.
You sit up and you know what? You see those little films on the digital board, whatever, and you be like, you know what? Oh, that's probably what's wrong with me.
Now you become a hypochondriac. Now you done got stuff that you didn't even go to the doctor for. You done just engulf some other stuff.
Right.
And then at some point you like, okay, how long I've been sitting here? Because I done seen this same thing like 15 times. But if you had that smooth jazz, you kind of just let that go away.
Right. I love that, Dr. G. Dr. G, I mean, this has been a great show. Are you ready to go back and speak with our guest, Kevin and Mark?
That sax was listen, first of all, it's a collective. The band was amazing, but I just wasn't expecting that little lady to just have that behind that sax. Listen, okay. Don't judge a book by its cover, people. That's what we learned from today, because she is on that sax.
She is. They definitely have that it factor. And if you don't know Smooth Jazz Alley, what do we say, Dr. Gray?
# shame on you.
Shame on you. You see my sign back there, right? Over, right there.
So on that side, yeah, that side. Shame on you.
Okay, y'all. Let's bring them back into the room. Hey, Marco, welcome back. And Kevin, welcome back. We'll bring Kevin back in the room too.
So get some activated charcoal, guys. Let's go.
And so, where do you buy that?
Amazon. Everything is on Amazon.
Oh.
But you can go in health food stores. You can go, but Amazon does carry it all. You can buy it like in a powder form, like you buy a protein powder. You can buy it in a pill form. You can buy it in your toothpaste to help whiten those teeth. Yeah.
Okay. I was getting a message and somebody said, well, where can I get it from? So that's why I asked you.
There you go. No worries. I know Amazon got everything. Get all my money.
I know. So, Kevin and Marco, when I was thinking about that live performance at the Blue Note, please let people know what was the song that you were performing. I know the song, but I just wanted you guys to share it.
That was called Deep Into You, featuring Blake Aaron. When you look for it on Spotify and whatnot, but yeah, okay. That was a kind of song that we created to introduce the sax element with Otoe to radio. That was the first track we took to radio with her. So
wow. She did an amazing job.
Oh, she's awesome, man. She does it just like you said. You know, she's got this little tall frame, and you don't expect her to like have that like sound. but
Right.
she's got it. And I've heard that so many times. She just blows people away when she's playing live.
Oh yeah, she does. I was
Yeah.
going to ask you all too, Kevin. Like, and Marco, you can chime in here as well. It's like, what's your creative process from the concept to recording when you all get ready to record?
Bro, I have to let my little brother. He needs to start that one off. Oh man.
Well, I usually start with, I'll mess around with some chords. Again, that's the thing I loved doing when I was young, right? So I start playing some chords, and I don't have any melody in mind. And I'm like, okay, so then I try to find some really strong, like, drum loops to put in there just to help me, like, to get the creative juices flowing. Once I have that and I have a pattern set up, then I go ahead and I add a nice, deep full bass. And but I won't send it to Kevin, because this is what he's taught me. I won't send it to him until it's kept ready. Now, what does that mean? When we started working on stuff, and I started saying, I've learned a whole lot since I've met Kevin. He introduced me to producer Matt Godina, who's produced some of our stuff also. But I've learned just a lot about creating music, and I would just throw stuff together before. Now, he's not hearing nothing until it's like, okay, we're going to go to studio. We're going to go to studio, track drums, and now we got to get a bass player and all this stuff. But it's got to be like, I can't just send him like my initial idea. It has to be a certain level, certain quality. So now, once I do that, I send it to him, and he either says, this is what I've learned. If he doesn't say anything, then he doesn't like it.
Oh.
If he says, oh man, that was bad, and he keeps talking about it, then it's cool. You know what I mean?
So basically, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
Or what he used to do, he would be like, send me this long laundry list of at 50 seconds in blah, blah, I need you to switch this. At a minute and 7 seconds, I want you to add this. And he would send me, I'm like, look, bro, did you even like it? Like, I don't even know if you like it. Now you want me to go out, so that took some, time to get to, kind of understand, like, how he hears. But now I know I send it to him in a certain way. And for the most part lately, I don't know, bro, I've been doing pretty good lately. What do you think?
Yeah.
He's been excellent.
Okay.
So I just want to let our audience know I love my little brother, and it's just not like it sounds, but there's about 98% truth to that.
98%.
But it's a nice truth to it, and he does the same thing to me too as well.
Okay.
Like,
That's just good.
It's just good teamwork. That and it's called dotting our I's and crossing all our T's, because like we started with the show, I want that track to be on repeat.
Right.
Well, the thing about it is, you rather come from your brother in a sense of it came from a place of concern and caring. Then somebody say, "What the hell was they playing? What
Let
the
me
hell?"
tell you what. Yes, I'd rather for it to come from between he and I, before the audience that's listening right now. Put it that way.
Yeah,
guaranteed. So, it's kind of like our second life, other than the life we have to lead, because we have our homes and stuff to take care of and family, but it's our life after that. That's who we are.
Well, don't forget what you do. And here's a lot. Kevin's very, he doesn't really talk about it, but I have this like framework that I create, and Kevin actually comes in. He's like, okay, and he really like takes it to like the next level. Has these ideas. So we're going to break it down here. We need a bass player that's going to sound like this, or we need a guitar to come in here and do this, So he starts to like just sprinkle all this stuff on it that I never even like really thought of. I'm just trying to create some nice framework that's, I can bump in my car,
Right.
And of course, by the time everybody hears it, when it's produced and released, all the loops, for the most part come out, and you don't hear that like that nice big urban sound that I have, but it ends up as a smooth jazz track. And what we've done since Otoe's joined us is Kevin and I pretty much create the framework, finalize it, and between the three of us, we'll write the melody to it. So we'll play it, and for instance, the last track, we were in the studio rehearsing, and we were playing the song, and I think it was the latest mix, whatever, and Kevin starts like to hum something, starts to sing. So
wow.
Otoe will hit record on her phone, and then she'll send that to me, and I'll be like, "Ooh, that was pretty good," you know. So then, she'll try to go. I'm like, "Hey, can you go lay that down and send that over?" So she'll do that, and then I'll receive it, and I'll be like, "I'm going to tweak a couple notes here, tweak the feel," and then it gets back to Kevin, and he's like, "Man, that sounds great. How'd you guys?" I was like, "That was you. That was you. You were singing, and." So we're learning about this new formula that works very well, and.
Okay.
And even in this last track, and Kevin doesn't doesn't talk about it much, but he's got a voice, and those are his vocals in the latest track that's at radio.
Oh,
And he came over, we did a vocal session, and I was like, man, I don't think you realize what you can do, and he doesn't talk about it, but it's like, so it's a collective thing now, and it's still kind of forming, but it's heading in a great direction.
wow. I love that. And so I didn't realize that was your vocals.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you like
Oh
this?
my gosh.
Come on, Kevin. Come on, Kevin. Come on.
Listen, Dr. G, you know how when you're in the shower and you're singing, you got those fabulous acoustics? That's pretty much where I always thought I belonged. But it wasn't until my little brother over there started edging me and poking me in the side and poking me in the side and whatnot. And here we are. I could say the same. I could actually say the same for him when it comes to bass, needing the bass. I only go out and get a bass because I think it's fun to go and get a bass. I don't need a bass. That's
Right.
my bass guy as well as my key guy.
Right.
And so Marco and I are just having fun. The moment we're not making music and not having fun, and we're not making music for all of our listeners that are listening to right now, is the day we quit.
Right.
And that's what makes it not feel like work, because you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
So I can pretty much go out and get anybody that I set my mind to for whatever it is we need, right? But the truth and the matter is that I got all I need between he and Otoe, and I'd like to think he thinks the same thing about me. I mean, that's just the way we roll. There's the Greg Mannings in the world. There's the Brian Culbertsons in the world. There's the this and that and the other. There's this drummer and there's that drummer or whatnot. But it all comes down to it. It's all about me, Marco, and Otoe.
I love
There's
that.
only one Smooth Jazz Alley.
Yeah. Well, what he has mentioned too is he actually when he came on board, and this is what completely changed everything. He got all these. If you look at our second album, between the second album and the first album was just whatever we had in house. The second album has all these artists, all these, people that I never expected to work with. And that was because of him. And he had been playing, going out and playing, backing up these artists for years. So we have, Roberto Valle on bass, and, we've got, Eric Marienthal and all these people. And I'm just like, I never, ever, ever expected anything to happen like this. So he became like the part of us that goes out and gets artists to come in. So that, that it's very special for us to now have Otoe and be able to do a lot in house. Although we really love having other people kind of come and do their talent on our music, because it just makes it so exciting. But
it's like Christmas. It's like, it's just fun, man.
It's just
yeah.
I mean, it's like you want to work with Nathan East, Mark Antone, Jazzie J.
Yeah.
The list goes on. And I was going to ask you both, like, living and departed, who were some of your musical influences that you really admired? And I can start with you, Marco.
Ooh, well, again, I love a lot of what I heard from Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis growing up. And we got the fortunate, we were able to meet them at the NAMM show. Was it 4 years ago? And that was huge for me, but loved their sound. So anything that they produced, love that. I'm a big Jeff Lorber fan. Been a fan of his for many, many years. I remember, I had gone to one of my first, I'm not going to name any names, but I went to some smooth jazz concerts out here in Oakland, and saw some keyboardists, and I'm like, oh, these guys are amazing. And then I saw Jeff Lorber, and I was like, yeah, like that was it. You know what I mean? And I've been a huge fan of his ever since. So,
okay. What about you, Kevin?
Actually, I'm a Jeff Lorber fan too, but I gravitate toward Bob James. I grew up listening to Bob James. And along came with the Steve Gads and the on drums and Harvey Mason's on drums. Those are the guys I grew up listening to.
Yeah.
And then later on, David Sanborn came into the scene. So that was the Johnny Walker Red in a glass with 2 cups with 2 ice cubes from my dad. You put some David Sanborn on, some of that old stuff that probably melts the pavement right now if you pour it out. But that's what my dad. That's what he drank, and my mom was right there along with the ride, and then other artists as time progressed came in, but those are the ones that I gravitated towards back in the day. And then the Grover Washingtons and whatnot, because they had some of the. Remember, everybody who's listening, how you used to be able to go in and buy an album and look on the back of the album and see, oh, I love this artist and he's playing on this. Oh, and I'm gonna go and get that. Oh, I got to get this album because these guys are on this album, so I know it's good, and I haven't even heard it. Remember those? Those are the great days. And so that's kind of how it was listening.
Right.
That's how it came about, and I started putting 2 and 2 together, and started following these other artists who were on the Bob James albums and whatnot, and
right,
it just kind of took off from there.
Yeah. I love that. And so the new single that's out, Come On, that's like blazing over the word. Like, how did, and I know we're almost out of time, like, so Marco, I'll just go to you, and Kevin, you can fill in. Is like, how did y'all put that song together? The concept of getting together, who comes up with the titles of the song, and you just say, "Come on," and oh yeah, that's a title. That's a song.
Well, that track. So we played a show out in Stockton last year, and we haven't done too much performances because we're still kind of new, and it's kind of tough when you're an indie artist to just kind of get anywhere where they don't know who you are, but we're fortunate to be able to play on a big stage in Stockton with a bunch of amazing artists. And after we got off, I started thinking, like, man, a lot of our stuff is like mid-tempo. Now, I love mid-tempo. I love to listen to it, but it's one thing to create music that people want to listen to, or that you want to listen to, or you think people might want to listen to, than to go out and do a performance. And so, and then I, paid attention to all these other guys that were, these other artists that were just doing an amazing job, and their stuff was just like smoking it up tempo. And I told Kev, I was like, man, we need some more up tempo stuff, man. So I purposely went back into the studio, created something that was more up tempo, faster than anything that we had ever had. And I was like, we need to perform this kind of stuff when we go out and actually do a performance. Shot it over to Kev, and I started listening to everything else that's out there, and just like just drum patterns and things like that. And then I showed it to Kev, and he loved it. And ironically, out of everything we've ever put together, we had a harder time. We both caught the vision, and it was challenging to have everybody else catch the same vision that we had. I don't know. I don't think we necessarily know how to communicate it, because we're on the same wavelength, Kevin and I. But but by the time we got to the finish line, and again, we put the melody together the way I explained earlier, and it came to life. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be performing the first time this song at where we playing? Longevity Wines in Livermore. In August 17th. And so we're having fun. We're just having a lot of fun. Now we're like, okay, we got to do more stuff like this for live, but still do some of that stuff that people want to just kind of just chill to. So,
okay. I love that. Yeah. And so, Kevin, I was going to ask you this question. What do you want people to take away when they hear the group Smoothjazzalley?
Well, Marco and I are just the 2 guys in the background with our little sister up front. I want to show the world just how bad she is.
Yeah.
And, when you see her, it's kind of like, what she's going to do. She got a sack, that thing bigger than her. She becomes a different person when she starts playing. I know Marco and I agree we'll probably never do this again, but we put 2 saxes on one track. And so, if you hear a track is called Party, and it's already out. And if everyone who's listening, if you play Party, you'll get a sense for who Otoe really is.
Okay.
In that track. You ask her, she has a little bit of broken English that we like to tease her about. But I tell you what, if you ask Otoe, what do you like to play? She'll say funk. That's it. It's just one word, funk. That's it. And so we put that track together. But you'll probably never hear two saxes on one track again. But it was just something we wanted to do. We made it work, and we have two ladies, two different people playing sax as a duet.
Yeah, Wakana's on there too.
Wakana's up there. And so thank you. And so that's who it is. But if the other thing I want people to just take away is that we're making music for you, not for our closest 500 friends. We are making music for you to all enjoy, whether you're driving down the highway, whether you're just cruising, or you're cleaning the house, or you're walking the dog and kicking the cat. Doesn't matter.
I love that.
We're making music for you. And so with that, I want to invite the listeners who's listening right now, get in touch with Dr. G and Jazzie. And if you want to hear something, hey, I'm thinking of this tune, or I'm thinking of this key.
Right.
I'm thinking of this tempo. Write to them, get in touch with them, let them know, hey, tell Smoothjazzalley, we want to hear this, we want to hear that. Let's have some fun with this. And we'll create something, and we'll bring it back. And we'll produce it and mix and master it, and we'll put it out there.
Wow.
I love it.
Just for you.
I was thinking
because we love you.
Well, you know what? I was thinking about, I'm going into another season, and maybe Smoothjazzalley, Dr. G and I are looking for a new intro, another intro for the show. So maybe we can put something together, Smoothjazzalley. You all can do an intro to my new show.
Absolutely.
All we need to do is go in the vault. If we go in the vault, we have something that will set you on fire.
Well, wait a second. Let's let them tell us what kind of vibe they want.
Or we let them pick maybe 5 different things out the vault, like a little listening party. Let the crowd choose.
Do that too.
That works too. So to all the listeners, if you want some different vibes for Dr. G and Jazzie when the show appears, comes on, what have you, or maybe you just want to hear something on our next project, and you have an idea, reach out to them, let them know. They'll reach out to us, and we'll take it to the next level for you.
We love that. And guys, this is, I always say time always flies when you're having so much fun. And that means Kevin, Marco, Otoe, we know you're here. Will y'all please come back on the show?
Yeah, absolutely. All you have to do is let us go. I told you we talk too much.
I see them coming back, and when we're going to do our Christmas special.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do y'all think y'all ever drop a Christmas single?
We're talking about that.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But it's got to be funky. It's got to be funky.
It got to be funky. If it ain't funky, I don't want to be on it. I'm sorry. I'm not even on it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, at least put us in the credits somewhere. Maybe in the credits.
I think we should do a listening party, come up with some things, and hear some more music from them. Bring a Toy back, and then we pick which one it is. I'm saying it's a vibe. It's a vibe.
Yeah. And I mean that everyone who's listening, chime in, go to Dr. G and Jazzie and say, hey, I was thinking of this. Get in touch with Smoothjazzalley and see if they could do this and this and that and the other. We'll take it all, we'll put it all together and make it do what it does.
We do.
Jazz-alley. A funky holiday with Smoothjazzalley.
That's
the name. That's the name of the Christmas album.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
I want to buy it. It doesn't even exist yet. I'm ready to buy it. It doesn't even exist yet.
Yeah.
That sounds like you will have a good time. Drinking a little eggnog. For some of us, we drink coquito, not eggnog.
Coquito. Oh yeah, coquito.
And then don't forget.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yes.
But the arm must go back on the chair. That's part of the
vibe, right?
The only eggnog that I drink comes from Costco, and I know everybody listening's got a Costco. That eggnog right there is 24% proof. And let me tell you, you ain't going nowhere. Don't drive. Don't do anything. Just get that mason jar that Dr. G has. So you only have to go to the refrigerator once. And that's all she wrote.
And then hashtag SYADSW.
Yeah.
Stitch your ass down somewhere.
Exactly right. We love you guys. We love everybody listening. And thank you for
thank you
all that you've done for us and continue to do for us just from the music that we create. We appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we thank you guys. And again, it's another great show. And I was going to ask you, Kevin and Mark, can you all hang on for just a second?
Absolutely.
Okay, we appreciate y'all. Hey, everybody, another great episode. Dr. G, the incredibly talented Smooth Jazz Alley, right?
Listen, if you can't enjoy that,
shame on you.
I don't know what to tell you. It's just good music. It's just good vibes. And you can see their chemistry here in the show, as well as you can hear it on the tracks. So go out and grab you a couple of copies.
That's right.
Chill out, relax, have
Right.
just good vibes. Enjoy it,
Website
because
is right there.
today is a good day to have a good day.
The day is a good day to have a good day and to go get some new music.
Always.
Always go buy some music, go share it with a friend. You know how we said we listen to the same thing over and over, and people like Jazz, like, hey, have you heard of this group, Smooth Jazz Alley? Well, hey, I bought you this. I'm gonna email it over to you. Take a listen. That's how we always say sharing is caring, right?
One song and let them get the rest on their own. Just one song.
Yeah. And so again, a big thanks to Marco Montoya, Kevin Lewis, Otoe Monroe. We miss you. Thank you for sharing their stories, their creative process, and the musical spirit with us. You can follow them, stay up to date with their music at the site that's listed right there on the screen. But don't forget to subscribe, share this episode with a fellow jazz lover or music lover. Leave a review. It really helps the show to grow, y'all. And it's free. It's free. Okay?
Cost you nothing.
Yeah. Follow Dr. G, Dr. Graham at the applife.info. You can follow me, Jazzie K.Ward. Go over to kwaradio.com. Also, that's my website, K.Ward Radio on YouTube. It's free. Subscribe. Okay. You want to send me some music? The information is listed right there. You want to support the show? Send me and Dr. Graham at least $1. You know what I'm saying? Cash App. I need to take Dr. G to lunch. And Chef D. We have to thank Chef D in the background. Producer, manager, you know.
Always.
I have to thank WVAS 90.7 Alabama State University. Also check out my show, Saturday Jazz Affair, on that station each and every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. And if you don't tune into the show, shame on you. Until next time, keep the vibe smooth and the music playing. We'll see you next time.